present for this seminar, which is conducted in hybrid mode. So we all are here to have to listen to the seminar, uh, which is a one-day national seminar on Fulbright Nehru Fellowship for Indian citizens. So we have a very distinguished guest, so who will be speaking on this Fulbright
क्या
Nehru
बोल रहे
Fellowship
हो?
for Indian citizens. And this program is a continuation of series of programs which we are organizing for the faculty members and the for various activities. So in this continuation, we have organized this program, and we have today Dr. Rayan Pereira, who is the regional officer, United States India Education Foundation, Mumbai, to deliver on this lecture. So I would like to request now Dr. R.J. Jhende sir, who is the principal investigator of ICR NAHEP Caste MAPSU project, to give a brief detail about the today's program. Dr. Jhende sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Dr. Upadhyay sir, AI Dean, MAPSU, all associate deans of the MAPSU, then our faculty here, all the faculty, those who are joined this program, participants, and all the NAIB team here. So today we are organizing this Monday National Seminar. This is in hybrid mode on the Fulbright and Nehru Fellowship for the Indian citizens. Being our MAPSU is the largest university, veterinary university in India. The student going abroad for the higher education purposes, various institutions. So far, in keeping in view that our students, they can go for the higher studies in various universities abroad. So in this case, this program has been organized so that students get an awareness about how to approach and to whom to approach and how to appear for the various examinations of the various universities which are conducted across. So today we have invited Dr. Ryan Pereira. He is a well-known, in this area. His expertise area. He is a student in colleges for appearing this Fulbright fellowship programs. Okay, he is conducting various seminars at state level, national level, and various universities also. So I have I'm pleased to also introduce Dr. Ryan Pereira. He has a PhD from the St. College in 1991, followed by the MSc in biochemistry in 1993 from the University of Mumbai, before going to the US to pursue his doctorate degree in biochemistry at Ohio State University. He then trained with Dr. Richard Serion in the Department of Molecular Medicine at Cornell University as a postdoctoral fellow and as a researcher. Before he joined the United States India Education Foundation as a senior education USA advisor in February 2011. From May 2004 as a regional officer at United States India Education Foundation in Mumbai office. So I welcome Dr. Ryan Pereira also for this today's program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your brief introduction and about the program and brief introduction about the Pereira, sir. Now, I would like to request today's guest of honor, Dr. D.U. Lokhande, sir, Associate Dean, Mumbai Veterinary College, for his address as a guest of honor. Dr. Lokhande, sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Respected
Dr. Upadhyay sir, Dean DI, Veterinary Faculty, MAPSU, respected Dr. Ran Pereira sir, PI Dr. Zhende sir and his team, and all the delegates, students, faculties, and researchers. Welcome to this function. Now, in this function, Dr. Pereira sir will give us the information about where to apply, how to apply. So the students, faculties, and researchers who are interested in further study at abroad, this is very good opportunity. See, guidance is very important. You will get the clue and then you will start searching for other sources where you will get. So this is the beginning, and I hope sir will definitely guide us and encourages us for further for visiting the foreign universities. So again, once more, I congratulate the team, Dr. Zhende sir and his team, for organizing such a nice function, informative lectures for we people, the researchers, academicians, and the students. And sir will definitely take advantage of this and will go for further studies. So with these few words, I end up these things, and I hand over the mic to our respected President, the Upadhyay sir, Dean and DI, Faculty of Veterinary Science, MAFSO. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Vice Chancellor Gadak sir, Honorable DDG Education, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, Honorable Dr. Anuradha Agarwal, Madam, and my dear colleagues, friends, the organized course director, Dr. Lokhande and Dr. Jhende, and other organizing secretaries and joint organizing secretaries. It's really difficult when it's a meeting in a hybrid mode, who have joined and who have not joined. So pardon me if I'm missing any name. So this program, at the outset, I congratulate, I also welcome, of course, Dr. Ryan Pereira in this program. So at the outset, I congratulate Dr. Zhende and his entire team for organizing this much needed seminar. Any student has an aspiration or dream of getting education more and more, and especially abroad, and especially the countries like United States. So even I had a dream. Unfortunately, in my education days, I could not go there. So the basic problem is that we don't know the avenues, where to go, how to go, who will be sponsoring, how much is the cost, what are the good universities, and so all this, and especially above all is financial constraints. Now in the this day modern era of decentralization and globalization, even our new education policy encompasses various avenues, and internationalization of education is very important part which our central government and ICR has taken up. So I'm really happy that such a seminar is being organized, and Fulbright Nehru Masters Fellowship, which is meant for say PG, PhD and postdoctoral students, is really a boon. And I'm sure I thank Dr. Ryan Pereira, the regional officer, United States India Educational Foundation, Mumbai, to be here with us. And I request him to guide our students and faculty also for these such courses abroad, and especially the Fulbright Nehru Masters Fellowship. So I once again welcome you all, and I hand over the dais to the organizers for the further course. All the best, and I'm really happy. I can see the Parbhani College, PGIVS Akola, 2 or 3 colleges are there who have also broadcasted, and I can see the students also sitting over there, student and staff. I'm sure other colleges also they have joined, and already we have more than 150 participants. That is what I can see. I wish it could have been much more greater number, but then of course the message will be percolated to others also. So without taking much time, I wish the best of luck, and I finally again thank Dr. Ryan Pereira in anticipation. So over to you, Dr. Jende. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your presidential address. Professor, Veterinary Physiology and co-PI Naheb Kas Mapsu for vote of thanks. Ingole sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Shukla. Good afternoon and warm welcome to all of you. So, on the occasion of this one-day national seminar on Fulbright Nehru Fellowship for Indian Citizens, so on behalf of MAFSU Nagpur and MBC Mumbai, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the dignitaries, colleagues, and the students and guests for joining this seminar today. So, first and foremost, I express my sincere gratitude to our chief patron, Dr. S.R. Gadak, Honorable Vice Chancellor, MAFSU, and Dr. R.C. Agarwal, DDG Education, and ND Naib ICR, New Delhi, and Anuradha Agarwal, NC Naib Caste ICR, New Delhi, for giving us this opportunity to organize such kind of programs. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the president of today's function, respected Dr. S. Upadhyay sir, DI and Dean, Faculty of Veterinary Sciences, MAPSU, for his presidential address and his enthusiasm to attend such programs and guiding us always. I would like to thank our Associate Dean and the Project Implementing Officer, Dr. D.U. Lokhande sir, for his constant support and guidance in organizing such programs. I also appreciate for the painstaking efforts taken by the PI of this Naib Caste, Dr. Ajay Zende, who is also the course director, and for organizing such training programs on time-to-time basis. Besides, I am very much grateful to all the associate deans of the Constituent College of the MAFSU who have joined us for this program, along with all the UG and PG students. And I extend my gratitude for joining this program today afternoon. I also extend my thanks to the organizing secretaries, the joint organizing secretaries, and the team Naheb Caste and the staff members of the VPH for organizing such kind of program. And I thank all who directly or indirectly involved in organizing this event and making it a grand success. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Shukla.
Thank you, thank you, Dr. Ingole sir, for giving the vote of thanks. Now, I would like to request Dr. Rayan Pereira sir to start his lecture, for which we are eagerly waiting for the past 30 minutes. So, sir is here and delivering seminar is lecture on Fulbright Nehru Fellowship for Indian Citizens. So, it will be a very good opportunity for all of us to listen to sir and get the knowledge and each and everything about this scholarship. So before starting the program, we would like to welcome sir by bouquet. So after that, we will start the program. Thank you, sir. So now I will request Dr. Pereira sir to please start his. You all are requested to just mute your mobile phones or computers so that there will not be any problem during the lecture. So all are requested to mute your mic. If you have any questions, you can ask in the end. Either you can ask orally or you can put your questions in the chat box. We will answer all the questions. Thank you. So Dr. Rayan Pereira sir, please.
Thank you very much for this invitation. I want to start by thanking Dr. Jende for arranging this. We're always very interested in having high quality applications in the agricultural and animal sciences and participating in the Fulbright Fellowship. So being able to present to such high quality students and faculty is really a privilege for me to be in this venue presenting to all of you. So thank you for having me here. So let's get started by talking about the Fulbright Nehru and the other Fulbright fellowships for Indian citizens.
Not going ahead. Not going.
There we go. So the organization I work for, the USIEF, was founded 70 plus years ago by the Indian and the US governments, and we do multiple activities. The primary goal of the USIEF is to be the Fulbright Commission in India, where we administer the Fulbright Nehru and other Fulbright fellowships for Indian citizens going to the US and to bring US citizens to India to do research and to learn about India. We also promote dialogue between the Indian and the US Fulbright scholars and their communities. So when US scholars come to India, we make sure that they're interacting with the Indian communities where they're living so that they can learn more about the Indian culture and things like that. And similarly, when our Indian scholars go to the US, they have to interact with the US communities so that they learn about the US culture. In addition to being the Fulbright Commission, we are also Education USA. Education USA is the US government supported agency to provide accurate, comprehensive, and current information to students who are interested in pursuing higher studies in the US. So, if anybody is interested in thinking about pursuing master's or PhD in the US, and they call the US consulate and say, I need help, you'll be sent to us. So, because we are the official people to guide students for the US government. And then finally, we also act to as a go-between to help create collaborations between Indian institutes and US universities. So we do a lot of different activities as part of USIEF. But our main primary goal is to administer the Fulbright fellowships. So what are the Fulbright fellowships and how did they get started? The Fulbright fellowships were started, the idea was by the US Senator J. William Fulbright, who in 1946 decided that one way to heal the world after World War II was to bring people from various countries to the US, let them learn about the US, and then they can go back to their home countries with those learnings. Okay? So his vision was to help create mutual understanding between the people of the United States and people of different countries. Since its foundation in 1946, the Fulbright Fellowships have grown to over 160 countries worldwide, and over 4 lakh scholarships have been given. Excuse me. India is one of the largest Fulbright programs in the world, and we've administered over 21,000 fellowships since our foundation 73 years ago. Now, I mentioned that USIEF was started in 1950. Since 1950, since our foundation in 1950, till 2007, the entire funding for the Fulbright Fellowships was provided by the US government. But in 2008, the Indian government, recognizing the value of the Fulbright Fellowships, became an equal partner, matched the US government in terms of monetary contribution towards the Fulbright program. And so since 2008, the number of fellowships that we give to Indian citizens has almost tripled from about 30, 35. We now give 130 fellowships each year. And we also bring about 150 US scholars to India each year. So there are two main types of grants. The first are the Fulbright Nehru and the Fulbright Kalam fellowships. These are the ones that are seen in the blue background, and they're at different levels: master's, doctoral, postdoctoral, and academic and professional excellence. So as the name may suggest, when we have Fulbright Nehru or Fulbright Kalam, it indicates that these fellowships are jointly funded by both the Indian government and the US government. We still have some fellowships that are exclusively funded by the US government, and these are the ones with the gold background. And these include the Hubert Humphreys Fellowship, the Foreign Language Teaching Fellowship, and the 2 fellowships for school teachers, the Distinguished Awards in Teaching and the Teaching Excellence Award. So these fellowships are still funded only by the US government. So what are we looking for when we in all our Fulbright applicants? We want people who have a high level of academic and professional excellence. Okay? That is, we're not necessarily looking for the gold medalist and the topper in the university, but we want people who are doing good work, have good publication, okay? or have a very exciting project. That's what we are looking for. We are looking for someone who has proficiency in English language. And when we talk about proficiency, we're not talking about being experts. Okay? What we mean by that is that if you're selected for the fellowship, you should be able to communicate.
All the participants, please mute yourself. Don't talk in between. Why?
Fulbright, Nehru and Fulbright.
That's it. So when we're talking about proficiency in the English language, we only want you to be able to communicate with your US university host and their in the lab about your project and all. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for expertise. If you're employed, and this is especially true for the faculty at a government institute, it has to come through the proper channels. We will require the NOC from the institute. These are fellowships exclusively for Indian citizens. So anybody who has applied for the green card or has a green card will be ineligible to apply. And also, the idea behind the Fulbright fellowships is to give people an opportunity to experience the US. So people who've already been to the US for studies or postdoc will be at a slight disadvantage. They're not ineligible, but they'll be at a slight disadvantage. If you've gone to the US for a conference and all that, that doesn't count as experience. So the first fellowship we have is the Fulbright Master's Fellowship. The deadline for this has just gone, but it will come again next year. So here, the one that might be of interest to students at this university is the Environmental Science and Studies Fellowship. For potential applicants for this fellowship, they need to have the equivalent of a 4-year undergraduate degree and 3 years experience, work experience in the field that they're going for. The nice thing about this Fulbright Nehru Master's Fellowship is that we provide $80,000 in total funding over 2 years. So it's usually more than enough to get a full Master's Fellowship from a US university. So the Master's Fellowships are awarded in only 11 categories, 11 areas. For all the other fellowships, the doctoral, postdoctoral, and the academic and professional excellence have a much wider range. And as you can see, agricultural science is right on top of that list. It's something that's very important to both the US government and the Indian government. And even if your field of study is not mentioned here, I know there are some biochemists and all that here. And just because biochemistry is not on this list doesn't mean you cannot apply. What has to happen is when you're applying, you need to select one of these 24 areas and then explain how your project fits into that area. So the first fellowship for students is the Fulbright Nehru Doctoral Research Fellowship. So this is meant for PhD students who are currently enrolled at MAFSU. And if you are enrolled for a PhD at this university, you can apply for this doctoral fellowship. The deadline is 17th July. If you get this fellowship, you go to the US, you get to go to the US for anywhere between 6 months to 9 months, do part of your PhD research in the US, and then come back to India and complete your PhD from this university. For those young faculty and people who are just completing their PhD, we have the Fulbright Nehru postdoctoral fellowship. This is meant for people. This is meant for people who recently completed their PhD within the last 4 years. So after July 17th, 2019. Here again, the deadline is July 17th, 2023. The Fulbright Nehru postdoctoral fellowships are our most popular fellowship, where we receive the largest number of applications. And the reason we receive the largest number of applications is because people can go anywhere from 8 months to 24 months on a fully funded fellowship. And later on, I'll show you some of the statistics of how many applications we receive. For the faculty members, we have the Fulbright Nehru Academic and Professional Excellence Award. Now, this is not just for faculty members. Anybody who's got significant research experience, even if it's not without a PhD, can apply. If you have 10 or 12 years of research experience, you can apply for the Fulbright Nehru Academic and Professional Excellence. And that's why we call it Professional Excellence Award. Sapna. The deadline to apply for this is also July 17th, 2023. Now, the doctoral fellowship and the postdoctoral fellowships are to do research in the US. The Fulbright Nehru Professional Faculty Academic and Professional Excellence Award allows the applicant to either do research, to teach, or to do a combination of research and teaching. And you have the option of going either for 4 months or 9 months to the US. That's one academic semester or one academic year. Just like the Fulbright Nehru, we also have the Fulbright Kalam Fellowships. And these are, again, at the doctoral, postdoctoral, and academic and professional excellence levels. The Fulbright Kalam Fellowships were started in 2016 in the specific area of climate. But climate itself is such a broad area. So we have energy study, earth sciences, environmental sciences, renewable energy, so many different areas that can come under climate. It's very important to understand that you can apply for only one Fulbright fellowship. So you have to decide, do you want to apply under the Fulbright Kalam or do you want to apply under the Fulbright Nehru fellowship? Okay, the deadlines for all is again July 17th. So we have exactly little over 1 month for all of these. Last year, we started 2 new fellowships called the Fulbright Nehru Visiting Chair Fellowships. The first one is the Fulbright Nehru Visiting Chair Fellowship at Emory University. With this fellowship, you go to Emory University, which is in Atlanta, Georgia, for 4 months, and you do a broad area of global integration. You do research or teaching in the area of global integration. And the deadline for this is August 14th. The next visiting chair is not meant for this audience, but if you'll know anybody, please bring it to their notice. This is in the area of public policy, and public policy can be extended into areas. There may be some faculty that might be interested in public policy because agricultural sciences also has an impact on public policy. So with this fellowship, you do 4 months at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. And for the deans and for the senior leaderships at this university, we have something called the Fulbright Nehru International Education Administrator Seminar. This is a 2-week program where you go to the US for 2 weeks, usually in October, and you visit 8 to 10 US universities, and you start having conversations with those universities about potential collaborations and tie-ups and things like that. So this is meant for the very senior faculties. This year, so we're accepting applications for those looking to go next year. This year, we are taking the group to the University of Notre Dame in Indiana and Washington, D.C. So every year it will be at a different area. So this is the first of two fellowships that I'm going to talk about that are still exclusively funded by the US government. The Hubert Humphreys Fellowship is a 10-month program. The deadline is just later this week. This is a very, very prestigious fellowship. It's meant for people who are going to make an impact in India. A lot of times we have the government officials, the IAS, IPS, and IFS people apply for this. But anybody, academics, NGOs, researchers, and government officials, anybody can apply for this fellowship. It's a very, very prestigious fellowship. The foreign language teaching assistant is not for this audience, but you all might know somebody who might be interested. So this is meant for English teachers, people who teach English at colleges in India. With this fellowship, if they are selected, they go to the US for 9 months to take classes in English and teaching English, but they also have to teach either Hindi or Urdu to the US students. So if you know anybody who's good in Hindi or Urdu and is teaching English at an Indian college, please bring this to their notice. So what does the grant give you? What are all these fellowships provide? You will get a monthly stipend. The stipend is determined on the grant you're going for. The doctoral grant will be the lowest, and the faculty grant will be the highest. It's also dependent on which city you're going to be based in the US. If you're going to be in New York City or San Francisco, the grant will be significantly higher because they're high cost cities. But usually the grant is more than enough to live comfortably in that city. And it's comparable to what, if you're going for the doctoral fellowship, what a doctoral candidate at that university would get as a stipend. In addition to the stipend, you'll also get the health insurance as per the US government guidelines. So whatever the US government mandates, that's the insurance that you will provide. And this insurance works really well. We've never had any problems with it. We'll also provide any allowance. If the university in the US asks that you pay $1,000 to be affiliated with it, we'll pay that as well. And we'll also pay a round trip ticket from your home city to the US institution and back. So it's a fully funded fellowship. There's absolutely no expense on your part to apply or where if you get this fellowship. So right now we are accepting applications for those looking to go in August 2024. It's a 1-year process to select and get all the paperwork required for the selected candidates. So we've made the announcement in February. We are currently accepting applications. So the next deadline is for the doctoral, postdoctoral, and the academic and professional excellence. Once we get the applications, say we get all the applications for the from the doctoral students in agricultural sciences, those applications will be put in one bundle together and sent to 2 subject experts, either from the US or from India. And these experts will grade all those applications in that one field. Once we get the grades from the subject experts, we will collate those grades, put them together, and the people with the highest grades are then called for an interview, which will be anywhere from August to February next year. August will be for the masters and February will be for the faculty. Now, if you're called for an interview, you should know that we usually call about twice the number of people as to the number of awards we are going to provide. So if you're called for the interview, you have about a 50% chance of getting the fellowship. That also gives you an idea of how close you are to get it, in case you do not get it. Once you're selected after the interview, then the papers are sent to our partners in the US, and they will work on placing you at a US university. And once you agree to the host institute, then they will issue the grant documents, which you will sign. And once you sign and return the grant documents, then I will start processing the J1 visas for you. So I will reach out to the consulate, get you a visa interview slot. You go for the visa interview. They'll give you the passport back with the visa, and then you're ready to go next August, either July or August next year. So it is a 1 year process. It's quite a comprehensive process. So last year, for the last 3 years, despite the pandemic, we still had Indian Fulbright scholars in the US, about more than 100 each year. Last year, we had about 130 scholars in the US, and they represented more than half of the US states. The highest numbers did go to Massachusetts, California, and New York, but we also had scholars going to lesser known cities like lesser known states like Utah, New Mexico. So the reason we put this slide up here is to let you know that the name of the university where you're going to be doing your Fulbright work is not as important as to does that university provide you the resources you need to complete your research project. That's all we are interested in. So for the Indians, for the Indians, we get our fellowship applications from a wide range of almost all the states in India. But we're noticing that we're getting most of our applications from certain cities, and not just certain cities, from certain institutes. And we're trying to get the IITs. Okay? So we're trying to get, we know there's high quality work going on all across India, including at this great university. So we're trying to get more high quality applications from universities such as MAFSU. So with the applications, everything is done online. You have to go to the usief.org.in website, and I'll put it up at the end, and you'll get complete instructions. You'll get the link on which you have to fill out your application form. You'll get the checklist of all the documents you need to upload. You'll get the step-by-step instructions on how to fill out the application. So all the help you need is on our website. So that's the first resource that you see there. The USIEF website is the best resource to get more information about this fellowship. Okay. In addition to the website, we do all these talks and mentoring programs to inform students and faculty about the fellowships. And you can also reach out to Indian Fulbright scholars who are currently in the whole, wherever you are based. If you go on the website, there's a tab for current fellows. You'll get the list of Fulbright scholars from India for the last 3 years. You'll be able to see which institutes they are from, what their projects were, things like that, so that you'll have a good idea of where you stand in relation to the past fellows. If you're going there to do a research project, there are certain things you need to keep in mind. The first is to provide clear and detailed descriptions of the objectives. Okay? It's really important. One of the things about good thing and a bad thing, but in the US, it's usually frowned upon where you write long essays trying to describe what you want to do. Here, we want very brief, concise research objectives. Okay? What is the main aim of this project? That's it. Then we want to understand what is the significance of the project, both to India and to the US, especially the host university. Okay? And in addition to that, we also want to know why does this work need, why do you need to go to the US to do this work there? Why can't this work be done in India? So when you're thinking about your projects, keep that in mind. That's a very, very important point. The need to do this work in the US. You also have to explain how your project can be completed in the time frame. For doctoral students, you get to go for 6 to 9 months. So one of the things about us Indians is we like to impress the committees. So be very careful. Do not try to impress the committees. Be reasonable. Usually 2 or 3 objectives is more than enough for a 6 to 9 month project. But pay more attention that research objective, the experiments that you need to do, need to be done in the US and cannot be done here. That's what you should be focusing on. Then you need to also show that you have the training to complete that project on time. It's not just I want to go to the moon. Go to the moon. That's what we want to know. Okay? So explain how your training and your background has prepared you to complete this project. And if you have any US universities that you've interacted with, mention them. Sometimes if you interacted with a US university, they may provide you a letter. If they have, attach it to your application. For the faculty who are going there to lecture, here the main goal is to be able to articulate what course you're going to teach and to provide a very detailed description of the course syllabus. That is, in week 1, what topic are you going to teach? Week 2, what are you going to teach? How are you going to evaluate the students? So you have to have some communication with your potential US university host to understand that they want this course taught at their institute. And it's a good idea to familiarize yourself with the US pedagogy system, how courses are taught, how they're graded, so that you can structure your syllabus accordingly. We also require reference reports. Usually 3 reports are required. If you're a PhD student currently doing your doctoral studies at MAFSU, one of the reference reports has to be from your project guide. Has to be. If we do not get that project guide letter of recommendation, your application is ineligible. For all others, we require either 2 or 3. They can be from anybody. Here again, very often people are trying to impress the committee by getting recommendation letters with people from high designations, okay? Vice chancellors and all that. It's good to get those letters, but what's far more meaningful is to get letters from people who actually know your work, have seen your research, knows your ability, and can talk about your ability to complete the project that you want to do in the time you have mentioned. That's what's far more important. So the designation of the person giving you the reference letter is not as important as the examples that they can provide and the details they can provide in the recommendation letter. Because a vice chancellor saying that this is an excellent student is not nearly as good as a dean or somebody saying this is a really good student and this is the reason why he's such a good student. Give an example. Okay? So keep that in mind. So finally, I want to end by talking about what we are looking for. Again, we are looking for people with high academic credentials and professional ability. Again, reminding you all, we're not looking for the smartest and the brightest. What we're looking for is good people doing good work and have the ability to hold their own when they are in a foreign environment such as the US. We're going to look at the merit of the Fulbright project. This is really, really important to us. You can be doing really good science, but is it really impactful for India and is it impactful for the US? After all, they are paying for this. So we need to know what the merit is. Okay? We also need to know why this research has to be done in the US. Can parts of it be done in India? I'll give you all an example. Is we had a case. So we sit in the USIF staff sometimes sits in some of the selection committees and non-voting members. So there was this one case where a student, a postdoctoral applicant, put in, I want to go for 3 years, 2 years to the US, and I have three research objectives. The first one is to make my tissue cell lines, which will take 6 months. The next objective was to do the physical experiments with the fancy equipment. And the third was to write up the results and publish the. So when the person came, it was a very strong application. But when the person came for the interview, the committee member said, you can make tissue cells here. You don't need to be in the US for that. You can write up your research proposal here. You don't need to be in the US. Will you be happy with a 1 year fellowship? So when you're putting together your proposal, keep that in mind that the timeline that you're asking for, you actually have to be in the US to utilize it. Because our funds are limited. We would rather give two people the opportunity to go for 1 year each rather than one person the opportunity to go for 2 years. So, but we are willing to support 2 years. We're looking at the outcomes and the impact and benefits of the project and the motivation of the student. And this is where the essay that the student writes and the recommendation letters and the interview will help guide us towards the motivation of the applicant. We also want, as I mentioned, the overarching goal of the Fulbright, of Senator Fulbright's vision was to build mutual understanding between the people of the United States and other countries. So we want to know whether the person who's been selected for this Fulbright fellowship will be able to contribute as a cultural ambassador if he or she goes to the US. So how are you going to share India's culture with the US if you're going to the US? That's what we want to know. Is it going to be by talking about the festivals, celebrating the festivals, the food, the history of India, all those kinds of things we want to know. We're going to look at the communication skills. Again, that's why we have the interview. And more importantly, we want people who are committed to help making India a better place. So when you finish your fellowship, you're going to come back and contribute to India's development. That's what we're looking for. So the Fulbright fellowships are an extremely prestigious fellowship. If you get it, it's going to be on your CV for the rest of your life, and it's going to open doors for you. Part of the reason why they are so prestigious is they're not always easy to get. So last year, we had over 2,000 applications, and we gave 138 nominees, which is about 7 in every 100 got this fellowship. Okay, so it is challenging. It's not easy to get this fellowship. But of those 138 who did get it, who were nominated, 46% were women. That is something that we are feel very strongly about. We do not have any quotas, but we do encourage the committees to think about if there's a strong woman candidate to seriously consider that application. So these are the breakdown of the fellowships. As you can see, the doctoral fellowships had the largest number, 670 applications in for Fulbright postdoctoral fellowships. And we gave about 33 fellowships there. So about 5 out of every 10 got their fellowship. The second most popular was the doctoral fellowship. There we had 539 applications and 7% got it. Whereas the faculty, we got fewer applications, but we still gave 35 awards. So 10 out of every 100 got it. So this is the website, the usief.org.in website. For all the information and the application details, that's the website to go to. We strongly encourage you to go to the website, click on the tab Fulbright Fellowships, and then click on the second tab Fulbright Fellowships for Indian Citizens. There you'll get the list of all the fellowships. Once you selected which fellowship you're interested in, you'll get the link to put in the application form as well as all the details for that particular fellowship. If you have any questions about while you're filling out the applications, please write to us at ip@usief.org.in. So once again, thank you for having me here. I'll be happy to take. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your exhaustive presentation about the Fulbright Nehru Fellowship. So sir has explained a lot of things like Nehru Kalam Fellowship, Nehru Fulbright Fellowship, other scholarships which are available to the Indian citizens. And sir has explained that how we have to proceed for the application, the review process of the application, all the application procedures. And sir has also explained in a very nice manner that how we can write a effective research proposal which can be accepted by the committee for the different types of Nehru and Fulbright fellowships. And sir has also given us an idea about how we can write the reference reports so that it will be more effective for the committee to select us. And he has also gave a brief information about the selection criteria that how and how and so I request all the participants if they have any question, so they can ask directly or they can write in the chat box. If they are writing in the chat box, that will be better. So, sir, we have a question. It includes veterinary profession. So this includes the veterinary profession. Any other question? Anybody want to ask?
When we talk about agricultural sciences, it has both the plant sciences and the animal sciences in it. So vet comes under that.
So all the participants, please feel free to ask the questions.
Anybody here?
Sir, one question from my side. Is there any age limit?
So that's a very good question. The question is there any age limit? For anything that's funded by the US government, there can never be an age limit. Okay? We do ask for your age, for your date of birth and all that, but for the eligibility, it doesn't come into account.
Thank you, sir. Any other question? From participants? So students, those who want to apply.
Hello, sir. Can I ask question?
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
sir,
sir.
please.
Sir, I am faculty. Does means we have to apply to the US for this Nehru Fulbright scholarship through our college institute or individually also we can apply.
Anybody can apply. You do not need to be at any particular institute. Even if you're doing independent research, you can apply. The applications, even if you're a current faculty member at MAFSU or a college, you as a person will be applying on your own on the online application form. You will just mention where there's a section for your current work experience. There you'll mention which college or university in India you're currently working at. That's all. But the application is made by you on the online portal.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sir, we have another question. Somebody has asked, does it have any particular year of PhD period in which we can apply?
That's a very good question. Since this doctoral fellowship is meant for those who are going in August 2024, and you're going for 6 to 9 months, we would like people who are going to graduate get their PhD after June or July 2025. So that because if you're going in August 2024 and you're going for 9 months, you need to have at least 3 months after you come back before you graduate. Okay, so that's what it is. So it should be 1 year from the start. You should be able to graduate 1 year from the start of your Fulbright fellowship. So that will be June or July. August 2025 is your graduation date.
Sir, one more question is there. I think she want to ask that what should be the time gap between completion of PhD and postdoc application?
There doesn't need to be any time gap. Even those who are going to defend their PhD thesis by the July 17th deadline, if they've taken the viva and defended their thesis, and they can get a letter that they have successfully defended their thesis, they will be eligible to apply for the postdoctoral fellowships going next year, even if you have not got the final PhD degree.
Any other question? Any faculty member want to ask any question? Anybody want to ask? So if there are no questions, so
This one last comment.
there is one more question. Subject with most probability for getting a selection for master's degree.
That's that's the $1 million question. Which fellowships are going to get it? That is, with any of the Fulbright fellowships, there is never any preference given for any particular field. It is always on the quality of the application. And at the doctoral and postdoctoral, it's going to be on the quality of the research proposal and the ability of the person to complete the proposal. It's never about, we're going to give, out of those 30 fellowships, 10 are going to go to agricultural sciences.
Thank you, sir.
Do UG students?
Sir, one more question is
Yeah.
there. Do UG students who intend to do post-graduation also need work experience of 3 years after graduation?
If you're applying for the Fulbright Nehru Masters Fellowship, then you do require the 3 years fellowship. As you all know, there are several thousand Indian students in this masterships. We cannot process so many applications. That's why we require to make sure that you all are actually in this field doing good work before before we fund the master's fellowship.
Sir, one.
So if somebody has completed their PhD 10 years ago, they will not be eligible to apply for the postdoc fellowship. That person will have to apply for the Academic and Professional Excellence Award. You do not need to have completed a postdoc to be able to apply for the Academic and Professional Excellence Award.
Is there any initial charge for applying this scholarship?
There's absolutely no cost associated with it at all. These are completely free to apply and fully funded fellowships. Everything is funded, including the air ticket.
So, is TOEFL or GRE exam are required?
For the master's fellowship, there will be some exams required, but that will be only after you've been selected for the fellowship. So don't worry about doing it right now.
So thank you, sir, for giving all the answers. So if anybody has any question, they can write in the chat box, and we will see the questions and we will ask to sir, or you can ask the questions on the email which sir has provided. So
one more information I would like to share regarding the languages students, they are asking IELTS and TOEFL. Through this NAHE project also, we have already supplied the softwares, languages in the library. So all the students are requested to take the benefit of that. Learn these 4 languages. We have supplied softwares for the English, Spanish, German, and French, and also IELTS. So try to already we have given the training for the faculties of the respective colleges. Okay, and then this faculties, they will arrange the trainings for the students how to use that softwares and make your languages perfect. Okay, so there is no need of appearing from the outside also for the language examination also.
If I may add to that, we absolutely hate people paying to learn English or any other language outside. There are so many good free resources, and as you mentioned, you all are providing them right here. Make full use of the resources that are available. And as I mentioned earlier, we are not looking for experts in the field. And the advice I give people is, if you spend more than 1 week studying for the TOEFL or the IELTS, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, at least 1 or 2 hours they can spend in the library with the softwares. They can easily learn within 2 to 3 months these languages and with very good players, you know.
Uh, Actually, the software which have been provided, they will train you regarding the pronunciation, then grammatical mistakes. So a lot of chapters are there. So if you go through one by one, so you will master in those chapters, and it will take hardly 1 or 2 months. So all are requested to make use of that particular facility, so that you will be able to uh, come to the level which is required, or the like pronunciation, understanding pronunciation, even making the pronunciation. So all these things are there in that particular software which has been provided through the NIAF. All are requested to go through that particular facility. So
One question that has just come in. There's a question there about, for those in the masters, when can they apply for the doctoral fellowship? Uh, those in the masters cannot apply for the doctoral fellowship. If you're looking to do your PhD in the US, then I would wear my other hat and recommend that you go to the educationusa.state.gov website, and that will guide you as to how to go about applying for the doctoral program in the US. And keep in mind that in the United States, there is a lot of funding available for PhD research. So you do not need the Fulbright fellowship to provide you for that. Okay? The university will provide you the stipend. So keep that in mind. And we can help you with that. Two of my colleagues in my office have done their PhDs. So they'll be able to guide you with this as well.
From the MAPS also, it is also appeal, and because sir is always in contact with us with this center for that making awareness to all the students. So those who are interested to apply for this Fulbright and other institutions also for their further studies or higher education institutions, so kindly contact us so that we can just I will take you to this sir's office and will you make your process easier.
Dr. Aditi. So
Aditi, yeah.
she would be the one to come and talk to you all about
Yes, yes, sir.
the applying for PhD studies in the US.
Yeah.
So, thank you, sir, for your nice presentation and answering all the questions. So, I would like to thank all the dignitaries who joined the program. I would like to thank Doc- Dr. Sharad R. Gadak, sir, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, for guiding us, Dr. R.C. Agrawal, sir, Dr. Anurag Agrawal, ma'am, for encouraging us, Dr. N.V. Kurkure, sir, Dr. Director of Research, MAPSU Nagpur, Dr. Ayub Bikane, sir, Director of Extension, Education, MAPSU Nagpur, Dr. P.G. Vasnik, sir, Dean Faculty, Dairy Technology Associate Dean, Mumbai Veterinary College, Dr. D.U. Lokhande, sir, who is chairing the Associate Dean today, for giving his specific, Dr. Organizing secretaries, co-organizing secretaries, coordinator and co-coordinators for giving their precious time in organizing this program. And I would like to thank Dr. Rayan Pereira, sir, uh, uh, who gave his permission of chair. I declare this program as over. So thank you one and all.